What matters most in any country is human development. Education system in our country is struggling. It is struggling to achieve the outcomes that we want, and that is to educate a quality education to our population in this country. And free education is not something that is just a privilege to a few. It is our right, every citizen's right, every person in this country, their right to be educated. There is no sign on the board saying that there's only a few people who should be educated in this country. It must be for everyone. Everybody must be given an opportunity, and they will find their calling in life, whether they'll be an accountant, a lawyer, or digital technology experts. That calling will come through only education, so you know your skills, you know your talents, and to make sure that you are a contributing factor and person, and productive person in our country. I know today, Papua New Guinea needs to invest more in education, invest more in infrastructure. We are measuring our success as a country on the production of oil and gas and minerals in our country. Now, this is not going to last forever. Many countries around the world who have depended on non-renewable resources they have not made a success of themselves because they've forgone the opportunity on what matters the most. What matters most in any country is human development. Human development can be only achieved through education. And investment in education and infrastructure builds a strong society. And I think that, sometimes we leaders, we make some silly decisions that affects the entire country. And I think, we need to take stock of that. And graduating students, you have a role to play in this country. And that is to correct the mistakes that we have made in the past. We learn from the mistakes that we have made in the past. And making sure that we invest in education, as we have done here in the university. We need to grow this university. I'm very disappointed sometimes people think that this is Peter O'Neill's private university. Because, it's easier to play politics. This university is your life. I have lived my life. I will probably live another 20 or 30 years and move on. But this is your life. This is what will measure you in your life's success in the future. And when silly leaders and stupid decisions are made like that, where they are not willing to support an institution that is so important to the country, why is this university so important? As the chairman has stated earlier, we are going into a digital world in this country. Many of us did not know how to use computers. We grew up in a village. We didn't even know how to read and write. We learned English on the blackboard with chalks and things. Now you are learning everything on the computer. That's the world it is today. Now this university is geared to meet that challenge. Now when you're on Facebook and WhatsApp and all these things, and you see the AI driving the business and driving the technology changes that are happening in the country, you are part of that world.